Introducing Shiko, your go-to destination for insightful content on sustainable living, eco-friendly products, and environmental conservation. Join us as we explore practical tips, inspiring stories, and innovative solutions to help create a greener, more sustainable world for future generations. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated with our latest videos. Together, let's make a positive impact on the planet.
How did Li
Subscribe to
Changjie,
Shiko
now.
Thuong Kiet, make a prominent figure in China lose their job. Li Changjie, 1019 to 1105, was a famous military and political figure during the Li dynasty in Dai Viet. Li Changjie served under three Li emperors, Li Tai Tong, Li Tong, and Li Ren Tong, achieving great accomplishments and becoming one of the two greatest generals of the Li dynasty, alongside Phung Hieu, the Song-Viet War and Li Changjie's peak. In Vietnamese history, Li Changjie is renowned for his campaigns, including the conquest of Champa, 1069, the raids on three Song districts of Kham, and Liem, 1075 to 1076, and the defeat of the Song invasion of Dai Viet, 1077. In 2013, the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism listed him as one of the 14 most outstanding national heroes in Vietnamese history. The pinnacle of Li Changjie's career was the victory at the Battle of New Noyet. This significant battle took place at the New Noyet River, modern-day Ko River, in 1077, marking the decisive battle of the Song-Viet War, 1075 to 1077, and the final defeat of the Song dynasty on our land. The battle lasted for months, ending with the victory of the Dai Viet army and significant losses marked for the success of many defensive and offensive strategies of the famous general Li Changjie against a much larger empire. This failure caused the Song dynasty to abandon its ambition to invade our country and forced them to recognize Dai Viet as a sovereign nation. The triumph in the Song-Viet War, the glorious achievements recorded in history by General Li Changjie, is a lifelong pride of the Vietnamese people. However, for the Song dynasty in particular and the feudal dynasties of China, this defeat remains an indelible shame, and not everyone knows that the failure of the Song-Viet War was a stain on the career of one of the most famous economic political cultural figures in Chinese history. The peak of Li Changjie's career, without a doubt, is also associated with the downfall of a prominent figure in the eight great masters of the Tang and Song dynasties, Vong and Thach, who was Wang and Shi, December 18, 1021 to May 21, 1086, styled Jiefu, known as Ban Sun Lao Nan, hailed from Fu Chao, Lam Shuyan, now Dong Hung District, Jiangxi Province, born into a scholarly family. Wang and Shi passed the imperial examination in the second year of Con Lich, 1042, during the reign of Emperor Renzong of Song. In 1047, he was promoted to the position of District Magistrate of Ninh Ba, Zhejiang Province. In 1058, he was appointed as the Magistrate of Jiangdong, overseeing legal and administrative affairs in Jiangnan. He wrote a memorial to Emperor Renzong, outlining the current stagnation of the northern Song dynasty and proposing measures to reform the economic, social, and military systems of the Song dynasty. After spending 3 years mourning his mother in his hometown, he stayed there and opened a school. In 1068, Emperor Shenzong ascended the throne, and the Song court faced crises in military, political, economic, and social aspects. Emperor Shenzong ascended the throne and summoned him to the capital, Bianjing, appointing him as an academician of the Hanlin Academy. In 1069, he was promoted to the position of Minister of Works. In 1070, Wang and Shi was appointed as Prime Minister and proposed economic reforms known as the New Policies to alleviate the internal difficulties. His new policies were influenced by modern economics and resembled a planned economy with public welfare. To combat speculation and monopoly, he also introduced a fixed pricing system and advocated for salary payments, retirement pensions for officials, and subsidies for the needy. The new policies were progressive reform measures through legislation. When these measures were implemented, they faced strong opposition from various ranks of officials. Wang and Shi's new policies were carried out for some time and were resented and opposed by other factions, leading to his first dismissal from office. Wang and Shi also proposed reforms to the national examination system, making it less reliant on Confucian classics and more based on practical knowledge. This made the aristocracy and officials following the Confucian school uncomfortable. Around June 1074, unable to achieve much, he resigned from office. But the situation became even more complicated. By March 1075, Wang Ansher was summoned back to the court by Emperor Shenzong. The great stain in Wang Ansher's life, the strategy to attack Dai Viet proposed by the Song, initiated by Wang Ansher, in a plan to expand the territory southward and relieve domestic tension, due to their reform policies, and the threat at the border by Liao and Western Xia. Since 1070, Wang Ansher had turned his attention to the south and aimed to achieve military success beyond the border. He wrote to Emperor Shenzong, "Jiaoqi has just failed in its attack on Chiam-tan. Their army is weakened and can be replaced by the army of Ung Chao to conquer Jiaoqi." According to Wang Ansher's plan, Emperor Shenzong sent Tam Koi to be the strategic commander of Guangxi in 1073, responsible for military mobilization. In March 1074, due to many mistakes by Tam Koi, Wang Ansher recommended Liu Di as his replacement, ordered the reinforcement of military forces, continued recruiting troops, gathered materials, built warships, and trained navy. Following their proposal, the Song dynasty turned Ung Chao into a launching base to attack Dai Viet and entrusted it to Kiam, an experienced general who had previously commanded this base in the fight against the Nung Tri Chao and was now appointed to lead Song's invasion. According to Wang Ansher's plan, had to be kept strictly confidential, avoiding leaks to Li. Wang Ansher's goal was to win a single battle, achieve total victory, subdue Jiaoqi, and expand the borders. But Wang Ansher's new policies caused resentment among many. One of those who resented him was a Song scholar named Tu Ba Tuong, who secretly informed Li Changjie, who was then the Tai Oi, about the strategy to attack Dai Viet. Upon receiving this important intelligence, Li Changjie took preemptive action, mobilizing over 10,000 troops on the border and deciding to launch a surprise attack, breaking through and seizing consecutive victories at Cao Chao, Liem Chao, and Ung Chao. On March 1, 1076, Ung fell, and the general Kiam committed suicide. Li Changjie ordered the destruction of fortifications and raided the reserves in the Ta River area, blocking the Song army's retreat route. The success of Li Changjie's army in the battles at Liem, Kham, and Ung, destroying about 70 to 100,000 Song soldiers and civilians, and capturing thousands of people and much wealth. After achieving the goal of destroying the enemy's rear bases, Li Changjie's troops withdrew to their country. Faced with this situation, Wang Ansher fell into a situation of following a doomed path and proposed to Emperor Shenzong to officially advance and attack Dai Viet. According to Wang Ansher, when our army destroys Jiaoqi, our prestige will rise. Then, inform Tam Te, and the people there will have the spirit of victory. With that victorious spirit, we will easily swallow the lower land. And if we swallow the lower land, who else would dare to disturb China? The goal of Emperor Shenzong and Wang Ansher was not only revenge but also to pursue the original goal of launching an attack on Dai Viet, to create a sense of urgency for the northwest battlefield with Western Xia and to establish authority with the Liao. The forces sent to attack Dai Viet consisted of about 100,000 soldiers, commanded by Tuen Hui Nam Vien Su Quach Kui and Tru Teep as the deputy commander, all recommended by Wang Ansher. The Song army comprised two components, 45,000 experienced soldiers and 55,000 newly recruited soldiers from various roads in Hebei and Jiangdong, along with reinforcements on the march from the capital to Ung Chao, as well as guerrilla forces along the border. In addition to the 100,000 combat troops, the Song army also had 200,000 auxiliary troops and 10,000 horses. The Song army officially launched an offensive. A Song land army personally commanded by Quach Kui departed from Ung province and advanced into the northeast region of Dai Viet. A naval force commanded by Duong Tien Tung set out from Luo province, traveled along the coast, and advanced into the mouth of the Bok Dang River, while the Song army achieved significant initial victories on the land route, conquering Chi Lang and seizing the Man Chao fortress, and the main army was able to advance straight down to Na Nam to reach the new Noyet estuary. The Song naval forces suffered a major defeat in the Dong Ken naval battle. More than 100 warships were sunk. Tens of thousands of troops were captured or killed. The victory of the Dai Viet army in the Dong Ken naval battle completely disrupted Wang Anshi's strategic plan and pushed Quoch Qui and Tru Teep into a situation where they had no means for the main army to cross the river, forcing them to launch a risky attack without naval support. After 2 months, seeing signs of fatigue in the Song army, the Dai Viet army launched a counterattack. Li Changjie organized a surprise crossing of the river and attacked the western flank of Tru Teep's army. In this battle, the Dai Viet army achieved a great victory, while the Song army was in chaos due to the western flank being ambushed. The Dai Viet army continued to land and attack the eastern flank of Quoch Qui's army. After achieving military victory at the New Noyet defensive line, Dai Viet proactively negotiated peace with the Song army. In March 1077, Quoch Qui withdrew his troops, and wherever the Song army withdrew, the Dai Viet army followed and recaptured the territory. Upon returning home, when reviewing the troops, out of the original 100,000 Song soldiers, only 23,400 returned, and out of the 10,000 warhorses, only 3,174 remained. Only half of the 200,000 auxiliary population returned. The war expenditure calculated by the Song dynasty was 5,190,000 taels of gold. After the humiliating defeat in the Song-Viet War, Emperor Xinzong dismissed Wang Anshi from the position of prime minister. In October 1077, Wang Anshi returned to his hometown in Jiangning to plant trees, garden, and focus on studying Buddhism. Wang Anshi lived a simple life, not seeking wealth or fame. He was revered by later generations as one of the 8 great writers of the Tang and Song dynasties. If it weren't for his biggest mistake, the Song-Viet War, Anshi would have had a legendary life recorded in history. Wang Anshi passed away at the age of 66, carrying the regret of the failed new policy reform and the stain of proposing a strategy to advance and attack Dai Viet, causing heavy losses to the Song dynasty.